So you're tuning to Box Story. My name is Rak Noble. Today we're talking to Rick Ramos, head of the BodyShots Gym in Chicago, Illinois. Rick, talk to the people.
What's up, everybody? I'm excited for the big fight, the big rematch. Jessica McCaskill versus Cecilia Braekhus 2. This is going to open up a lot of doors. You know, I think that anything's possible after we beat her again. You know, Katie Taylor, Clarissa, Cyborg. So I'm excited. You know, big opportunities ahead.
So, of course, we're about 3 weeks out from the fight, big fight on the 13th. Tell me the difference leading up to this fight, this time round. What's the difference to the first time in the lead up? Because, of course, Tulsa in August, not many people knew who you were. You were seen as a surprise underdog upset. What's been the difference this time round?
You know what? Honestly, we brought in stronger sparring. I think, you know, the best thing that Cecilia had to offer that night was, you know, her size. But other than that, you know, we took care of that. You know, we're sparring with 18-ounce gloves. You know, we'll be ready. We're not moving. We're gonna stand right in front of Cecilia. So we'll see what she brings. If she wants to fight toe to toe, we can. If she plans to move and use the jab, we can cut off the ring and break her down. So I'm excited about it. Very excited.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this shortly, but in March, there's quite a lot of big boxing fights for women. Big month. And I think this fight's got to be definitely one of the biggest, well, definitely the biggest one. We've got the former champ versus the current champ, all the belts on the line. Yeah, no question about that. I saw the E-conference, I saw the press conference between Jessica and Cecilia. There's some spite. There's definitely some spite between the two. They're not friends.
No, I mean, you know what? Honestly, you know, I think Jessica and myself, we do a really good job of selling the fight. I think, you know, there's really no hatred here. It's more or less like, you know, friendly competition. But, you know, we do think that Cecilia is a bit old. We do think she's a bit slow. We do think she's a bit arrogant. So we're going to show the world that her era is over and it's time for these new champions to come through. But it did get heated up. I think Jessica, you know, called out Cecilia. I think Cecilia is a bit of a crybaby. And, you know, she's never lost before, so she's inexperienced when it comes to losing. So we're just going to remind her. And March 13th will be the biggest retirement party in the history of boxing.
I know, bro. Yeah, you were just saying Cecilia she hasn't taken a loss before, so she's a bit harsh.
Yeah, I think she's a bit bitter. You know, she doesn't have experience losing. So we don't take that personal. You know, she's a bit of a sore loser. But it's cool. It's good. You know, she blamed the pandemic, you know, but, you know, we were all in the pandemic. It wasn't just her, you know, the whole world was. So, you know, those excuses are just like, you know, a little weak. And I think that, you know, if she was alone in Big Bear for 6 months by herself, that's her promoter's fault. That's her family's fault. That's her team's fault, you know, for letting her sit up in the mountains by herself. If that's true, I don't even think it's true, but if that's true, then, you know, that's shame on her team, everyone involved on her end. You know, I would never let my fighter sit alone for more than 2 days, let alone 6 months. It's ridiculous. But, you know, I think it's excuses, but, you know, we'll see what happens. You know, we plan on doing big things March 13th. And like I said, it's going to be the biggest boxing retirement party in history. We're going to retire her.
A lot of critics, so justified a lot of odds, just turned a lot of heads, no doubt, in Tulsa in August. But there's still a lot of people that were saying Cecilia had an off night. Cecilia wasn't the same Cecilia. She's going to take revenge back in the rematch. So, of course, Braekhus is making adjustments. How are you going to make those adjustments to Braekhus' adjustments for those tactics?
Well, again, she's not getting faster. She's not getting better. I don't think she's mentally stable. If you look back and you look at her last 3 years of her career, she's gotten dropped. She's went through 3 trainers. She's the pandemic hit her. You know, she's got a lot going on mentally. And only the tough people survive those kind of experiences. You know, we were in the pandemic. It was just Jessica and I in the gym and a couple other teammates, but we got through it and we were in the same circumstances. So it's like, you know, everything she says, off night, this and that, like, it's just excuses. Like I said, she has no experience with, you know, with losing. So she didn't know how to act. So we're going to remind her how to lose again. And I think that we're going to do it very aggressive fashion. But to get to your point, you know, she can't do anything. She's not going to get faster. She can make a little bit of adjustments. She's not as athletic as everybody thinks. She's too tall. She doesn't know how to fight inside. She only knows how to throw a jab, and you know, we plan to break it down. We worked on that, so I think you're going to see a much more aggressive and stronger Jessica, and I think Cecilia is going to get out of there. I think she quits. I think Cecilia quits in the corner, like the old veterans do.
One thing that Jess did say about this fight when it was first announced, this isn't going to be the handing of the torch over. No, this is going to be her taking the torch, ripping it straight out of Cecilia's hands. This isn't going to be a handover. This is going to be an invasion, a takeover. Takeover starts 13th. Takeover is completed on the 13th.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely going to be aggressive. Jessica's going to come in here more aggressive than the first fight. We have all the belts, you know, except for one, and you know, Jessica has all the confidence in the world, and you know, Jessica's experience and confidence level is at the all-time high. So again, there's bigger opportunities outside Cecilia. She's not, like I said, she's not fast. She's not, you know, she's not getting better. She's getting older. She's getting hit more. And I think that, you know, behind Cecilia, there's going to be massive opportunities. And we plan to break through that wall and get to those massive opportunities.
So this fight, what statement do you want people to be attached to with this fight? So when people look back at this fight over the years, what statement do you want to be linked to the outcome of this fight?
I mean, I think we should. I'm hoping we stop her. I'm hoping she quits. I'm hoping that everybody, you watch her Cecilia get beat bad, and I want her to quit. I want her to quit, and I want her to be honest with herself, and you know, enjoy her retirement and move on, and make way for other champions. I think, you know, I don't really think that she fought a lot of great champions. I don't really think that she beat a lot of good people. She's kind of like she comes from an era of like, they made her career. You know, she had a couple decent fights, but you know, like I said, the last 3 years she went through 3 trainers. Abel Sanchez is not going to teach her how to box. Abel Sanchez is going to teach her how to fight. That's not her style. That's not her style. It's the worst decision ever. You know, guys like Triple G who like to fight most of his career, you know, now he needs to learn how to box. So that's why he fired Abel. So now Cecilia, at this point of her career, to hire a coach who likes to fight and not box, it's almost catastrophic for her career. I mean, she's already gotten dropped. She's already got a loss. Having Abel in her corner, I think this time it's just going to end with a knockout. I think we stop her.
Okay, so let's move on. Moving on from the 13th of March. Let's say wake up 14th of March, still the undisputed champ, still hold the belt, still number one. Yeah. I know in your guys' minds, because I follow you guys quite a bit, you've been saying either an MMA crossover or the rematch of Katie Taylor. Now, I think the fight of Katie Taylor is going to be massive because I don't think this has been done before. 2 undisputed female champions coming together. I don't think it's been done. What are your thoughts for that?
You know, I think I would like to get Jessica a win in between Cecilia and Katie. You know, again, Cyborg's on the table. I mean, not on the table, but Cyborg isn't an opponent that I thought about. Maybe, you know, maybe just a quick tune-up fight, you know, just to keep Jessica busy at 147, and then Katie. But, you know, if we can get Katie, we'll do Katie. But there's going to be a lot of restrictions. If Jessica McCaskill fights Katie Taylor, it'll be the first time in boxing female history that both fighters will make over $1 million. So $1 million. So I think, you know, I don't plan to do it for any less than that. If we have all the belts and Katie comes to us, Katie doesn't really offer anything other than legacy, you know? So, I mean, obviously that's a big thing, but at the end of the day, legacy don't pay bills. You know, we need to get paid for that fight. Again, I think Katie Taylor versus Jessica McCaskill, each fighter make over $1 million. So, you know, that's what we're pushing for. I also think that Clarissa Shields is a possible opponent. So we'll see what happens. Clarissa got 2 gold medals.
Don't you think Clarissa might be a bit too big, naturally sized for Jess? It'll be a bit too much.
I mean, I don't know. It depends. I mean, everything's based on a deal, right? So we can get Clarissa at 147, and she can't be above 155, 157 the night of the fight, you know, because, you know, the WBC rules on a championship bout, you know, state that. It's not even us. So as long as she doesn't blow up above 155 or 157, you know, there's a fight there. Jessica comes in 152 on fight night, 153. So, you know, she's big, but again, the rehydration clause, that might slow her down. It's all about the deal. You know, I beat fighters on the scale just because, like Cecilia took a fight, the undisputed first lady champion of the world. She gave us 2 pounds. We fought that fight at 145. That was a mistake, and I knew we beat her on the scale right then and there.
Yeah, I remember I watched your interview where you said that. You pitched it to them
Yeah.
with no idea that they actually do it, and then they did
Yep.
it, and you like, got them.
Got
At
him.
that point.
Got him. As soon, well, to be fair, Tom Loeffler called me, and this was when Cecilia fought last on HBO. Tom Loeffler called me and offered the fight at 144. We passed. We signed a deal with Eddie Hearn, and then after that, I wanted that Cecilia fight again. So I had told Eddie, I'm like, hey, can we get that Cecilia fight? And I'm like, offer him 145 pounds. I'll give a pound back. I knew they would bite. They couldn't help themselves. I knew they were going to bite on that fight, and they did. They took the fight. So once you can't be undisputed and give a challenger an opportunity, that was like a mistake that her promoter and her team made. I mean, that's just like, I don't know. To me, I would have never, being the undisputed champion of the world, I'm not trying to give pounds, away like that, unless it was a catastrophic fight, like, like a Katie Taylor or Clarissa Shields or whoever, you know what I mean? Like those are, I never really thought Cecilia was a monster. She doesn't have a lot of knockouts. She hasn't beat the quality of fighters that Katie Taylor has or Jessica. As far as toughness, I mean, I feel like she's fought a lot of cream puffs, so that's just how I feel.
So on the Katie Taylor situation, fight, let's say, like you said, the fight goes through, you guys are victorious on the 13th. What difference between back in December 2017 to now do you feel Jess will make in a fight with Katie Taylor? Because of course it was a close fight the first time round. What differences do you think Jess will bring to the table now in edging her out possibly and getting a win?
That's a good question too, because a lot of people are like, what's the difference? What could change? I mean, if you look hard at Katie Taylor, forget about us for a second. Katie Taylor hasn't improved. She throws like maybe 4 or 5 of the same combinations for the last 4 or 5 years. So like she has not improved as a professional. Her knockout ratio has plummeted. I don't think that her team is teaching her a new style or making adjustments. Now, if you look at Jessica, we won 7 world titles since that fight. The confidence is higher, the experience is higher. We know how to sell a fight better. We sold that fight. We made that fight, the Katie Taylor versus Jessica. Definitely. Yeah, I made that. I made Cecilia Braekhus versus Jessica. Those were all my doing. That wasn't Eddie Hearn. That wasn't even Tom Loeffler. All those fights came when I was ready to take those fights. No one else made those fights, and I don't think other promoters understand that. Like, I feel like I can manage a fighter, I can make a fight, I could sell a fight. I can aggravate a fighter to take a fight that she doesn't really want. Even Clarissa Shields, I can aggravate her to death. She knows she can't help herself either. So to answer your question, I think that, this time around, Katie will run. She'll try to bang with Jessica for a round or 2, maybe 3 rounds, and then she'll start running around. So we just got to cut off the ring and bring in the right sparring partners who run and a lot of sparring partners who pity pat. She didn't have power at 135. She ain't gonna have power at 147. And if they want to lower the weight, they have to bring their paychecks. I mean, their checkbooks, and they have to bring in their business people, because it's not gonna be free, and we're not gonna give pounds without the right proper money. So they're gonna have to write a big check, and it's gonna have to change the timeline, and not the timeline, but it's gonna have to change like the way that the B-sides are going to get looked at. Because no matter what, if we fight Katie Taylor, we're on the B-side. I don't care if we're the undisputed champion of the world. I don't care if we're with the same promoter. We're not going in there, we're not going into that fight where everyone's thinking we're going to win. So they're going to treat us like the B-side. I understand that. So we need to get paid for that fight. And, we plan to knock out Katie Taylor at 147. So we invite her to 147. I think that would be a mistake for them. But, that's kind of my whole boxing career as a manager and coach, is to upset the party. So hopefully they come to 147. But like I said, bring your checkbook.
Bring your checkbook. That's what we're telling Eddie Hearn in the zone. Bring your checkbooks.
Yeah, for sure, without a doubt, because they're going to want different weight. They're going to want all these restrictions and this and that and the other. Okay, fine. Just you're going to have to pay for it.
One good point you did make for sure is that in the last 4 years since their encounter, Jess has gone on to win four belts, super lightweight, welterweight belts, become undisputed champions, confidence at a high. I definitely do think that'll play a part in the rematch, and that she's a different fighter to what she was in 2017. I believe that was her first world title shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, in the WBC, we moved up to 140, fought Erica Farias. And then we fought Anais Sanchez to win both belts at 140, and then we just won the 5 belts against Cecilia.
Yeah.
So she's, you know, she's won 7 world titles. I mean, if you look at it, everybody that Katie Taylor beat, she's supposed to beat, you know, and she didn't beat Delphine the first fight, and she arguably got a draw in the second fight. So she has not improved. She's shown that she doesn't like to bang. She doesn't like to stand there and fight. I mean, she's proven that. I mean, she didn't really like to sit in there and fight with Jessica the first time, and she definitely didn't like to sit in there and bang with Delphine. So we understand she only has a couple of tricks up her sleeve, and I don't think her corner is smart enough to make the adjustments that they need. But they're gonna run. Their adjustment is run, touch and run, you know. So I mean, trust me, if I have the proper amount of time to train for it, 8-10 weeks, I could beat that style. There's no doubt in my mind. And Jessica's gonna beat her up and stop her.
Yeah, I've been following on you guys on social media from November, December times, and you guys have been saying since then the rematch is likely to be in March. So I'm guessing you've been at the gym for the last 4 months now, just chipping away, planning away, strategizing, getting ready for it. So
we've been in the gym for the last 5 years. You know what I mean? We haven't left. So I mean, honestly, like Jessica's whole career, I mean, she sets up her office in the gym. You know, we're doing everything from the gym, and again, you know, we're ready for this fight, and you know, we're ready to. We just want to beat. Like, I want to take away a loss. I mean, I want to take away Cecilia's O, which we did. I want to take away Katie's O, which hopefully we could get the opportunity again, and Clarissa Shields too. Those would be 3 awesome fights to finish her career.
If Jess is to go on to beat Cecilia Braekhus twice, Katie Taylor, and Clarissa Shields, I think that would definitely put her in the top 5 female, well, in the top bracket of female fighters of all time. That is some legacy right there.
For sure. I mean, even if we beat, I mean, I think that Jessica should be in the Female Boxing Hall of Fame today, right now, just if she ended it all today. But if we beat Cecilia twice, then for sure we're in the Boxing Hall of Fame.
I think right now she's one of the best fighters in this current period of time. She beats Cecilia Braekhus again. Yeah, definitely she deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I think that's without doubt saying that.
I agree.
And just, of course, touching on welterweights and fighters in your stable, you have another welterweight who is gonna take the baton on from Jess once it's all said and done. Summer Lynn.
Yeah, Summer Lynn is. I had her since she was 12 years old. She's been in my gym for 7.5 years. So, you know, she's only 19. You know, I could take my time with her, and you know, she's 3-0 as a professional. You know, there's big opportunities for her. We plan to stay at 147 because a lot of the fighters at 147 are over 30 years old, you know. So if we beat Cecilia March 13th in Dallas, I think that Eddie Hearn or Golden Boy or even Top Rank should sign Summer Lynn. You know, it's a no-brainer, especially if I control all the belts at 147. So, I mean, I have a majority of them now. If we beat Cecilia, then I have all of them. Jessica and I will own all of the belts at 147. And I think it would be easy to get Summer Lynn a deal, with a big name promoter. And I think that Summer will control that weight class for a while.
So, of course, looking over your post, I saw a bit of a deja vu in that you're looking at a fight for Summer. You're trying to line up a fight for Summer with another Katie from Ireland. You're just going for all the Katies in Ireland, aren't you?
You know, honestly, the people from Ireland are actually great people. Those boxing fans are great boxing fans. And, you know, they showed us nothing but love. So, you know, once I seen that 19-year-old girl, Caitlin, I don't know her last name, but, you know, once I saw her coming up, I'm like, yo, we would fight that girl from Ireland. We got a lot of boxing fans in Ireland from the Katie Taylor fight. I mean, that fight could happen on the undercard of Jesse Katie Taylor too, you know. So I mean, that's another opportunity. Yeah, again, like I said, I could sell a fight, I can make a fight. I'm paying attention to the moves that are 10 moves out. So, you know, I think I'm easy to work with as far as like making ideas and creating fights for the promoter. And I think that, you know, once Jessica beats Cecilia the second time, I think Summer gets signed with the big name promoter, and she could be on the undercard of some of these big fights that Jessica's on. But yeah, I'm excited.
Because when I saw that, it made a lot of sense. Because I think that girl, she won the WBC Youth World title out in Germany during lockdown. She's 3-0. Summer's 3-0. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And like I said, a guy like yourself, you throw it out there, you talk, you put it out there, you put these promoters on the heat, and they call a black the fight. And that sounds like it could be a good fight on the undercard of Katie Taylor versus Jess McCaskill too.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not just like talking random shit, My ideas are good and they make sense. Definitely make sense, The first time when nobody wanted to fight Katie, we jumped in, we did it, and then after that we, won all the belts, and they were back. Eddie Hearn came back to Chicago, and we wanted in, we got on. And then the Cecilia Braekhus fight, she really had no opponents other than Clarissa. And I knew she wasn't going to fight Cecilia Braekhus doesn't want to fight Clarissa Shields. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So, nah. And she wants to fight people smaller that she thinks she can beat. So I knew they were going to bite. Like the first time I knew Eddie Hearn was going to bite on Katie, they did. It was a great fight. And then the second time on the Cecilia fight, I knew they were going to bite at 145. And they did. And that played out for us financially and historically to solidify Jessica as one of the best fighters in the world. So again, I think, March 13th, we get past this, and I think Summer Lynn can get these big opportunities as well. She should. I mean, she's been fighting since she was 7 years old. Jiu-jitsu, judo. So this Summer is no stranger. She can fight mixed martial arts. She could fight in the UFC if she wanted in a year. So, I mean, those are real fights, Those are real fights and real fighters, and real ideas. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, exciting times ahead. And one thing that I've definitely noticed about you and your gym is that you run the gym not as a gym, as a business, as an enterprise.
100%. Absolutely.
And I noticed you said your gym in Chicago stands out as one of the top tier gyms just from the way it's run. What in your mind has made BodyShots stand out as one of the gyms in Chicago to reckon with, leading the way for boxing?
Hey, Summer, there's Summer. Say hi. That's Summer. He said that. No, I think I have a list of rules that I go by. There's a lot of boxing coaches and boxing gyms that are going out there and saying, we just do it to keep the kids off the street. And, that's great. There's no doubt about it. But at the same time, you have to understand business, because when you get those kids off the street and they're good, then what are you going to do? Not know anything about business? So there's certain rules and there's certain things that I do at my gym so that people understand that I'm all business, and, I want world titles. I want to be one of the best trainers in not only Chicago's small, like on the planet. I want to be up there with the Abel Sanchez's and the Robert Garcias and other coaches like that. But, I feel like I got to win to do it. So if I can create fights, create opportunities, and manage my own fighters, I'm looking at the best interest for my fighters. If Jessica happens to fight Summer Lynn one day, it happens. If the money's right for both of them, I'm not going to stand in the ways of these two making a living. I want to get them. I want to maximize that fight, and I want to, get them both $1 million. And at the end of the day, like if Jessica was to fight Summer for $1 million each, let's say, the belts stay in my gym. They're both in my gym anyway.
You want
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's like, and they understand that. They look at Summer, you understand that. See, everybody understands. We talk about it all the time. That fight could happen down the road, and as long as we own all the belts, then we're always in control. And that's why I don't understand why Summer hasn't gotten a deal from Eddie, but I think we'll get one after this fight. So, again, I want to do good business.
Just keep paving the way through. Doors will open up. Summer, the other fighters in the gym. Funny enough, I was watching your podcast yesterday. You had your rules. I think it was the 16 rules.
There's a lot of rules.
I remember some of them. Something like no one in the gym dates each other. Everyone should do at least 2 classes a week. Clean up. No t-shirts off. Everyone gets changed inside the changing room. So you've definitely got a good structured format of what you expect from your fighters, everyone in the gym to uphold to. And by the sounds of it, it definitely sounds like you're the top gym in Chicago, leading the way for professional and amateur boxing.
Yeah, I mean, again, I was not always. I had a gym for 14 years. Like a lot of people think, like, oh, Rick's like newer to the game. I've had a gym for 14 years. I've been in a boxing gym since I was 12 years old. So I'm 44 years old. So I've been around for a long time. It's just I think that having my own gym and my own rules and my own structure finally separated me away from the people who like had a monopoly on boxing, and the people who ran it wrong for so long. And I'm here, I want to have, I just had a meeting. I tried to have a meeting the other day before it snowed with all the gyms in Chicago because I want to rally them. I want to sign their fighters. I want the best fighters in Chicago. I don't want the best fighters just out of my gym. I want the best fighter. I want Chicago to be on the map. I'm thinking about everybody. I think other people in the past thought about themselves. I'm not thinking about myself. I want every gym, even my competitors, to be successful, because if they're better, I'm better. And if they're better, then my fighters become better. So I challenge all the gyms in Chicago to be better than me. And I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I'm the hardest working guy. These guys aren't going to outwork me. They might be smarter, they might be better, but they're not going to outwork me. They just don't, and everybody in Chicago knows I'm on the phone, I'm on the internet all day long trying to make opportunities happen all day.
If you, that definitely makes sense. If everyone raises their game, the standard just increases.
100%.
Everything.
100%. And Chicago boxing standards were so low for so long that, it looks like I'm doing a lot because ain't no one doing anything over here. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, now I got to raise the bar. Now I'm holding meetings with some of the best coaches, I think, that are better than me in Chicago. And I'm like, hey, guys, we got to work harder. Hey, guys, I got, money to spend on fighters who want to sign. Let's go. And the guys who want to work with me will work with me. And the guys who don't, they can stand and they can buy tickets for the big shows that happen in Chicago. That's fine.
Who was the last world champion to come out of Chicago?
David Diaz. David Diaz, or David Diaz was here.
Was it lightweight?
Yeah, he fought Manny Pacquiao. He beat Eric Morales.
Manuel Marquez. He lost to Manuel Marquez. I remember that fight.
And he, who else? Andrew Fanfara. Andrew Fanfara, he fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He knocked him out in LA. So he was those were the last two world champions in Chicago. And now Josh Greer he has a belt. Jessica McCaskill has a belt. Mary McGee, she's out of Indiana. She has a belt. The IBF belt at 140. Yeah.
Super lightweight. Yeah.
Yeah, we know Mary very well. Shout out to Mary. We don't get along the best, but she deserves, respect as a champion. So shout out to her and her team. But we're working. And I just want to be a part of the best fights and the biggest fights. Not only in Chicago, like I said, on the planet. I want my Canelo. I want my Ryan Garcia. I want my Teofimo Lopez. So, I want to be in there with the Eddie Reynosos and the Abel Sanchez and all these big name Robert Garcia trainers. So, I'm working. So any fighter out there who's watching and any fighter out there who's like questioning what I'm doing, listen, I will work harder for you than anybody on the planet.
Lastly, before we wrap this up, it sounds like, of course, the Rick Ramos management movement, the BodyShots Boxing Gym, there's a lot going on behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, on camera, behind the camera. What should the people look out for in future? Because a lot of people will just see you as the trainer of Jessica McCaskill, Undisputed Champion, but there's a lot more than that. Like, I followed you guys' story. There's a lot more behind the scenes, behind the pictures, a lot more that's going on. Tell the people what they should be expecting to see in the next months. You guys can jump on, you can find me on any social media platform, Rick Ramos Boxing. You could follow the YouTube channel. We started our own podcast. We have a documentary, a little mini series, No Days Off, features Jessica McCaskill's career, and eventually it will slide over to Summer's career. I got a lefty heavyweight, Matt Hambrook. We're going to turn pro in June. So, I think my lefty heavyweight who can move very well is going to create a lot of problems for the heavyweights. So again, I think, once I get in the heavyweight business and once I start getting in the more on the male side, I think, people are going to be like, yo, this guy's like, for real, this guy's not playing. Like, so I want to be the spoiler until I'm always on the A side, until I'm always have a direct line with Eddie Hearn, Oscar De La Hoya, and Bob Arum, and, all these big name promoters as well. But I'm going to work, and you're not going to see the end of me. I mean, there's not going to be an end of me. I'm going to keep pushing. Once Jessica's career is over, Jessica's going to help me train fighters and sign fighters. So those are things that we're looking to do as well. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the future, and you're going to see a lot more of me. So take a good look. If everyone watching, I can assure this man ain't telling no lies. Like I said, I've been following this story up, following the whole BodyShot story for like a couple of months now. And yeah, these guys are workers. These guys are working behind the scenes to make it all happen.
And I have to say this one thing. Make sure a lot of your fighters check out the YouTube channel, because I'm telling people how these boxing and manager contracts work and what to look out for. I feel like I'm giving it away. This is free information that some of you fighters who didn't grow up with the proper education and things like that. I'm telling you what to watch out for, and the key words that these promoters throw into contracts to to take as much money from you as possible. So there's a lot of information on the YouTube channel that I'm just giving away. The smarter that everybody else is, it helps me raise my game. I'm not one of those guys who want to be the smartest guy. If I'm the smartest guy in the room, I'm in the wrong room. There's everybody around me smart. All my girls, they're all college educated. Summer's going to college. My little cousin Mia, Matt, my heavyweights went to college. Jessica went to college. I mean, I'm surrounded by college people. I'm the only one without a college degree. So I'm definitely, we're definitely changing the game. I don't want people to think that fighters are not the smartest people in the world. We got to change that. That's a stigma that's been around by these old timers. There's a lot of old timers in the sport. We just got to change the game.
Yeah. That's why so many fights get taken advantage of, put into bad contracts. They just don't understand the deals. Yeah, educated fighters, I think, is the way forward moving into the 21st century.
Absolutely.
And one question to throw, just so we got it clear. March 13th, Jess McCaskill, Cecilia Braekhus, Coach Ramos, what is your outcome for that?
I think we beat up Cecilia. I think she tries to fight Jessica early, and I think she's overtrained. I think she comes in overtrained, beat up physically, mentally, and I think Jessica puts it on her, and I think she quits on her stool. I don't think she's going to give Jessica McCaskill the opportunity to let the world see her knock her out. I think she quits on her stool, just like all the old veterans do.
We'll see on the 13th. I do think it's going to be a story of repeat. I'm not sure how the repeat's going to go, but I think it will be a repeat.
Thank you very much for all the support, and make sure you guys tune in. Follow Jessica McCaskill on any social media platform. Follow me as well, Rick Ramos Boxing. Thank you for all the support. Honestly, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the time. Oh yeah, I saw the shorts, the fan pants. I saw my name was in the middle on the
waistline.
There you
go. See what I'm saying? Yeah. So Jessica will be wearing them all week. We'll post them live when we get to Dallas. But yeah, Jessica posted all the fans and all the supporters all over her pants. So she's excited to wear them and show them off.
I saw mine right on the waist and I was like, yes, good marking.
There you go. You got a good spot, right? You got a good spot.
Hugely appreciate it, man. Rick, I know you're a busy man. I'll let you get on with your day. Thank you very much for your time. And all the best in the first one. Who needs luck? Because you guys got this. On the 13th,
thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Say bye, Summer.
Summer, we'll catch you at some point too. Take care.
For sure. All right, thank you.